Well, there's only really one more major puzzle left to solve before we start wrapping things up around here, and it's the one that's over on the other side of this 9-door area. But before we go over there, I want to do a little bit of review, because it's been a while since we've really seen all this stuff, and figured it wouldn't hurt to brush up on it a little bit. So let's go back this way toward that area where the J things were. 3, 7, and a number I did not see. 1, 5, 2. Alright. Well, that sounds nice. My kind of numbers right there. Okay, so we haven't been here in a while. We were here a long time ago, but let's go back and check this area out again. So we have this thing here that shows us a drawing of some hills. A button that doesn't work. Some dials that we can set from A to D. Another button that doesn't work, but it seems to be connected to a printer or something that spits paper out. I guess that's a printer. Then we have this thing over here, which shows 7 peaks that are all connected to 7 squares that appear to be a part of some kind of control panel with buttons. And then here we have a compass that shows us 9 squares in the middle with different symbols inside each, and 1 square on each of the outside areas here where the cardinal directions are pointing. Alright, so you got all that memorized? Okay. Now let's go ahead over here to the courtyard place where we can put it all together. So let's take a look at what's out here again. We have all these mounds that we noted earlier. And throughout this courtyard we have these panels that have buttons that can be pressed from A to D, much like the dials that we saw in that room. And in a few places we got these things that have 7 symbols and buttons that we can use to set each one. Well, that certainly feels a little familiar. Then over here we have a cabinet, which is probably where we ultimately need to get something. But let's take a look at these mounds again. We got a bunch in there, we got one out here, another one over there, and then another one over there, and another one on this side. Okay, so we have 1 on each of the sides here on the outer area. So how many are in here? We got 3 right here. Another 3 here, that one down there is on the outside. And then finally, we have another 3 right here. So we got 9 here on the inside, and we got 4 on the outside, 1 on each side. Well, that certainly sounds familiar, doesn't it? So, let's take a look at this again here. The clue that we got here earlier said to make a connection between peaks of a sort and the symbols. Well, the only peaks that we can see are these mounds. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on a minute. Let's look at these other ones here. Looks like there's 7 here as well. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. And then over here at this one, which I believe is the only other panel with symbols, we also have 7. So, it looks like the objective here is to correlate which mounds go with which symbols, and then determine the symbols from left to right as we're looking at them here, kind of in a 2D sort of view. So, I'm going to go ahead and just give the answers here. This left one here, which is the one for the east side that's all alone there, is a 5-pointed star. The next one up is this symbol, the diamond-y kind of symbol that's pointed. That's this one on the corner here in the northeast. And then we got this one over here that's way in the south side, and that's the kind of a circle with 4 points like this, but it has some diagonal lines attached to it like that. And then we have the one without the 4 diagonal lines like that. I guess that doesn't have a circle in the middle. And then we have a 6-pointed star, which is this really nice tall one here. And I just totally passed it by for some reason. Oh, I did it again! Okay. Third time's the charm. There we go. And then we have a sun, as this one over here. And then finally we have a snowflake, like that. So let's take on this next one here. This one is an 8-pointed star, which comes right after the 6-pointed star. Then we have the sun again. And then we have the 6-pointed star. And then we have something that kind of looks like it's a part of some molecular model. Doesn't that look like some science project or something? And then we have, well, it kind of looks like the medical symbol that you see on like an ambulance or something. It's kind of like an asterisk. At least I've seen this in medical contexts, haven't you guys? I don't know. And then we have that diamondy thing again. Then we have the one with 4 diamonds. Like, where is it? That one, but I just passed it by. I was kind of mindlessly clicking there. There we go. So 2 down, 1 more to go. So for this one, we just need a plain circle as the one here in the southeast corner. And then we have the 4-pointed thing without the diagonal lines, which I passed. I need to stop doing that. There. Then the sun again, which has appeared in all of these. It's interesting. And then we have the 8-pointed star. It was the one that was just set to. I don't know why I bothered doing all that. There we go, the 12-pointed star. Then the snowflake, and then the diamond. Okay, well on its own that didn't really seem to do much. So is there anything else we can do around here? There's a button right here, but that does nothing. There's a pipe that goes through here though, and there's also something connecting into this wall, and also a peephole or something there. Let's go back and go to that room again. Maybe we've unlocked the ability to do stuff there now. 293. Normally I'd say that it's nice having the number of the door on the code that you've got here, but I don't know if I'm that happy about 9. Okay. So anything different about any of this now? Oh hey, there we go. Well, we can see a view of the outside. And you know what? Hang on a sec. Let's lower that back down. It kind of looks like this, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 mounds that we can see through here. That's pretty cool. But I kind of want to see what we can do with this thing. Okay, that printed out a line for us. Let's try some other combinations here. Okay, well that's more like it. So that was when the drawing we got when we put B on the left and A on the right. And you might recall earlier that I had mentioned that we can type things out here on some of these clues, and this is the reason why actually. So you need to notate which one goes with which letter combination, and keep track of all of these. So let's just keep going around. This is CA. I guess we're discarding them as we throw them into the thing there. That sound, I guess, is what that is. DA. This is going to be kind of a little bit boring, but we'll try to account for all of them. While I'm doing this, though, it's worth mentioning that I completely forgot one of the things that we can take a picture of, and that is the map that would go here. There's a map of the northern part of RHEM where the train area is and all the stuff there that you can find in Mediandus' house. It's nothing really that important, but I totally forgot to look for that. And so it looks like double letters just give you the same, just give you a straight line, so we're not going to worry about those. Alright, CB, DB, which I believe is that. Let's do all the C's now. CA, or AC, my bad. BC. That was a fun comic strip. You guys remember BC? And then DC. Because CC doesn't do anything. Alright, and now for all the D's. 80. And then BD. Whoops, don't need that right now. And then CD, that's all we need. We should have enough to take out there, because we're going to need to figure out which of these goes with which of those panels. And I don't believe there's anything else for us to do in this room, so at this point, it's pretty much just a matter of matching which letter combination goes with what. And the little peephole that we were looking through was basically supposed to be a clue about that. And that is that the drawing that we saw that was hanging there corresponded with the view that we saw. And similarly, whatever we're seeing here corresponds with one of the drawings. So I'm just going to go through each of these, starting with this one, which I believe is this. It looks like it, at least. Yes, so CA is that one. And there's no real logic to any of this stuff. You just kind of have to figure it out and judge for yourself here. And just take note of what the heights are of the various hills. Some of these, like the ones that have a something in the middle like this, there's several that have something like that. In this case, you kind of have to judge the height of the one in the middle. Like, this is way too high right here. But like this one right here, this looks about right. It is, of course, made harder by the fact that this is blocked off, but these two hills kind of give it away. So AC is the answer to that one. And then over here, we have one that's got one on the far left, and stuff seems to kind of steadily grow as you go toward the right, which corresponds to this. It's either this or this one. Let's see here. I believe it's this one because of this right here. So DB is the answer to that. Alright, and this one has more stuff concentrated on the left side and sort of a hill right here where you go up and then down, which corresponds with this right here, BD. Whoops. Okay, here's another one with a middle one that's not too tall, but the one on the far left is. So let's see, that looks a lot like BA. I think I'm going to go for BA on that one. And then this one has a really tall hill here, a lot of stuff concentrated on the right, and one lonely one here on the left. So it's definitely not that one. But it looks like it might be this one. Yep, that looks more like it. DC. Alright, we're halfway done. This one has another really tall one here, but pretty much everything's on the left with one lonely one on the right, which seems to indicate that this is AB. This one, yet again, has another really tall one in the middle, but an equally tall one here on the far right. So let's see if we can figure out which one that is. CB? Let's go with CB. That looks pretty decent. Alright, this one, the tallest one's on the right. We got one here in the middle, lonely one there on the left. So DA. DA sounds good. Alright, 3 last ones. Most of these are on the left, and they're pretty much about the same height. I don't think it's this one. Is it this one? Probably this one, AD. Let's go with AD. And then this one, again, we kind of get blocked here a little bit, but we can tell what's going on. Looks like the tallest one is in the middle. CD seems to be the most likely choice based on what all we have left, which leaves only one more option for the end, and that is BC, and we can just verify that right here. So that should be it. Let's go ahead and press that button. Alright, well that's a good sign. It's nice and glowy. So does this activate the cabinets? It does, and we got the long-awaited Pentagon. So, at this point, all we need to do is just visit those other 2 stops on the east and west sides of the railway and plug these shapes in. 817. Don't worry, guys, we don't have to go to through this room too much longer. The nice thing is that one of the stops we were planning to go to, the rail car's in position to go there already. So we actually just came from there, and that should be the east side. So let's go over this way. And we're going to climb up over here. Wait a minute. Why did it have to come down? I mean, wasn't it already here? I mean, we totally had to go down earlier to get over to where we were, right? Yay, lag. Alright. So let's head east. Car should be waiting for us right here. I love how the designer and the artist cleverly concealed if there was actually a car there or not by putting that big wooden block thing there. I guess it helps prevent the need for having to render several different versions of images with a car in different places. Alright, well we know what the drill is here. We just need to send the car back so we can get across. See, I wish we could break the rules and just cross over. I mean, why can't we just, like, climb over this thing, walk across the water, or, like, slip in through there and go right in? I mean, a real adventurer would do that. I guess we're just a fake adventurer. So let's use the green ring here. And what do you know? We got one of these inside. Which golden fragment is this? It kind of looks like the Greek letter lambda. Fragment 2, alright. So that leaves fragment 3 as the only other fragment left. So let's call the car back and head toward the west silo area. I like how it just knows to go back just a little bit. Like that's funny. So how have you guys been doing? I just got back a little while ago from a geek convention. It was like actually an anime convention. I'm not really a big... Is it anime or anime? Like, I guess both pronunciations are technically correct, but I guess everyone has their own version of which pronunciation is correct. But a few of my friends are really into anime, and it's one of those things I've been meaning to get into, but I just don't have the time. You know, between the channel and work and just everything else in life, like, there's just so much I'd love to watch and everything, but I just don't have the time for it. And they invited me, so I was like, you know, it'll be cool. Why don't I go and just check it out and see how it goes? it was a lot of fun. I only stayed for a day or so just because I wanted to come back and take care of some things before the weekend ended and stuff, especially since I just moved here to Colorado and all that. But I had a good time. It was really fun just seeing all the cool costumes and everything. And it really makes me want to go to like a normal, like non-anime specific convention, you know, like Comic-Con or something, which they have over in Denver. So that ought to be fun. Alright, so with that done, we should be in good position to go through there. And let me show you something actually before we do that, because I don't think I've showed you guys this yet. If you can't go back a certain way, you'll get the sorry noise. So we have to go forward 3 spots before we can actually get to the east or the west side, and then go forward off to the silo area. And one more. Like I said, I'm not sure why this game is lagging compared to the other ones. I mean, it's not like it's more graphics intensive. And I actually have more space on my computer now than back then, when I recorded those. Alright, so there's only really one thing we need to do here. We don't need to worry about any puzzles or anything else. Well, actually we do. We need to take care of this right here. Let me just get my notes out here. It was 4... What was it? 410? No, that wasn't it, was it? Hang on. 448. Got it. I knew it was 4 something. I just couldn't remember what it was. Alright, so we got 448 inputted there, and remember that connects from here to there. And we need to put the green pentagon in there. It looks more like a blue pentagon, but I guess there it looks green. And we get access to the final fragments. So now we are all done. All we need to do is just go back to the very beginning and put them all in. So while we're on our way there, I figured I'd give my little mini review of this game, since we actually have a short ride out of this area of RHEM. It's not quite as prolonged as the other 3 games are. So I thought I'd go ahead and just give my little wrap up here. Overall, I enjoyed this game for the most part, but to me it doesn't quite have the distinct identity of RHEM 2 or the fun of RHEM 3. It's mainly a lot of riding around on these rail tracks. At least when you don't have any idea of what you're doing, that's what it ends up being, because you have to keep going back and forth between every place ever. And what compounds the frustration is that you don't really know what clue necessarily gets used where, or even if you have enough information to solve a puzzle. That's probably one of the worst feelings you can have, is that you don't really know that you have all the information necessary, and because of that you don't really know what logical connections you need to make between A and B in order to get the puzzle solved. So it can be really frustrating when you're in a position where you're just constantly going back and forth and looking for more clues when you actually already have all the clues you need. And it's especially frustrating when the method of transportation involves the kind of tedium that switching all the rails requires. Other than that, I mean, a lot of the puzzles in this game were a lot of fun. I did enjoy the fact that the kind of the first area was pretty linear. I mean, there were a few things in there that you came back to later on, but for the most part, you could just breeze through that, and you didn't really have to worry about walking tons of different places in order to solve the stuff. But once you got past that black crystal room and into this 9-door area, that's when things got pretty crazy. I did appreciate the bell tower area, mainly just because... Oh, I didn't memorize that. 2, 6, 3. Okay, good. Last door combination. I did appreciate the bell tower area because it was self-contained, and it actually is the demo for this game, which is how you know it's self-contained. But if you didn't know that, you may think that there are things that you need for the bell tower that you don't have there again, you know, it's that kind of thing. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, I didn't really think the location of this game was really all that interesting compared to the last two. I mean, the last game had a variety of natural vistas and whatnot, and RHEM 2, of course, took place inside an entire cave system, which was pretty awesome. But overall, the puzzles in this game were really well thought out. There were some things that were unnecessary, like the tedious stuff, like I'd say this qualifies. The 9-door room certainly qualifies. But the individual puzzles were pretty interesting. And these can just be put in the order they appear here, which is nice. Let's try putting one in the wrong spot. I love how you still get a sorry noise, even though it makes no sense that would actually give you a sorry noise. As of right now, I don't really know what the status of RHEM 5 is. And by right now, I mean September 2015. Hopefully, it will come out at some point. It's been several years since this game came out. So, let's see what happens. Alright. Oh, we opened that door up too. Oh, it's Kales.
I thank you, not only because you have unraveled the mystery of this part of RHEM, but also because, after so many years of isolation here, you have given me the opportunity to return to my brother. I wish you all the best for your own journey home.
Alright. Well, I'm happy for you, man. Hopefully we can work with both of you guys next time, instead of having to be kind of the middleman here. Alright, and the door closes. And he takes off in a whatever that is, kind of like a helicopter, except way more interesting. Man, I want one of those. Why can't we take one of those instead of this train? And why was it even there? Well, anyway. Can we go through that golden door? Probably not. Let's check it out. Nope, we can't do that. But Kales left us a key, and you might recall that there's one door that we have not opened up here in this part of RHEM yet. And that is this door. Not that door. This door. This hut here. Kales key. Alright, so what's down in this thing? Well, there's... Oh, this is the door, isn't it? There you go. Now we can go through that. Oh, hey, it's that lady again. I wonder what she's doing there. Wait a second. It's not one of these star keyhole things. We saw these in the last game. Well, we can't do anything with this now. What's over here? There's a chair, a plant, a bottle, and wait a minute. Oh, it's Kales' journal. So this is where it went. Wait a minute, did he add something to the end? I'm ashamed about the last few lines I wrote. My brother's messenger helped me so often. Without him, I would only have been able to explore a fraction of RHEM. It seems as if the messenger has almost found all the fragments. My hope lies with him. I will stand by. See, why didn't Kales work with us? I mean, why did he just stay down here? Especially if he was so eager to leave or talk to somebody and everything. You'd think he got lonely down here unless he was just hanging out with the red lady there. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, yes, I know that technically the real-world explanation is so that they didn't have to animate more stuff, but still, it is kind of a little weird, and I'm curious if we can... Oh, I guess that only affects that, doesn't it? Okay. Alright, well, that's pretty much all we can do now. So I guess this is pretty much it for RHEM until RHEM 5 comes out. And yes, there is supposedly going to be a RHEM 5, but who knows when that will happen. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad I got to finally do this LP, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was definitely a lot of fun to record, and a lot shorter than I was expecting. I thought it was going to take quite a bit of time to go through, but this actually wasn't so bad. So, I'll have to see what I'm going to do next exactly, because my big Let's Play is not quite ready yet. But in the meantime, I hope you'll join me for more adventures in the future. And once again, thank you guys for joining me on this one. If you guys liked this series, be sure to like this video and the others here in the RHEM 4 Let's Play. And I'll catch you on the flip side.
Dear friend, I'm happy you returned safe and sound from RHEM. Thank you for your help, which also enabled my brother Kales to return home. Without the possibility of returning, he felt his stay in RHEM was more and more like exile. He is doing better all the time. I'm sure he will plan a new expedition to RHEM soon, in which case we will, of course, need your help again. Bye for now. Zitais.